And I'm back with more Tales of Arise. I found that owl. And I got this. Yay!
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Well, this is a fucked up mess. Hello!
We're in for a long slog with this one. Here I go. Go! You're mine. There! One more. Here I go. Going airborne field. My special. This will come in handy.
Flying free? Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Here. I'm only getting pushed.
Rising Wyvern!
Look sharp.
Light Spear!
Sighted. Ready.
Severing Wind!
One more.
Finish it!
Lost.
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
Now. And again.
Rising Wyvern!
Here I go. Help this.
Rising Falcon!
Let's get you all tucked away. And again.
This one's mine.
And again. Banana. Let's
Mm.
Sighted. And
Make
again.
it rain.
Frozen.
Hammer.
We can really make weapons with this?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Ah, yes, we get to see the whole...
There's nowhere to run from my art. When he slows down, that's our chance.
In here! It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
It's Demon Fang. Take this.
Chinese supernova!
Shit.
Alright, here's for Nova!
Now or never.
Photon
Can't
flash!
get out of this.
Lightning condensed! Thunder!
Come on.
Take this. Tornado Alpha. Take this. Raining slash. Burn.
Lightning raging cascade!
No further. Demon Fang.
Oh, come on, dude.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Tiger blade!
You require a hand.
Shield and
Take this.
Damn it.
Natural energy!
Demon Fang. Double Demon Fang. Prepare to be seared. It's too fast. Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Here we go.
Go!
It's time. Rising Wyvern. In a bind.
There! Go! You're mine! Take it! You're mine! Got it! It's over here! Here I go!
You require a hand. Here I come. Can't get out of this. Piercing roar. Demon Fang. Double Demon Fang. Finish it.
Looking fearsome, Rinwell.
You must be rubbing off on me.
Let's kick some ass, kid.
So those are Dan and Astral Art. Something you want to say? Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Finish it.
Lost!
Demons descend. Flashing Fang.
Let's kick some ass, kid.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relic. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing...
But of course.
Well. Uh-huh. Oh, I remember now.
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen. I have a bad feeling about this.
Can't get out of this!
One more shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Got you! Here goes!
And again!
Ready to go! Good shot! I'm not done!
Raging
got fire!
I've got this! Sleep now! Let a marksman handle it! Shield!
Demon Fang! All yours!
You got company! Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Milk and Blade here!
We managed to turn the tide!
For now,
Here's a healing
but
arm!
things could shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert. Not in your dreams. And again.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the
Sleep now. There.
No further! Demon
This one's mine.
One more!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Dragon Form!
There. You're open. How's this? I'm only getting started.
Demon Fang!
One more.
Good
Now.
shot!
It's over. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Let's see.
I need to be stronger.
Ooh, that's money. Me like money. Oh.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
This one's mine! Falcon!
Gemini Aqua. Sighted.
Rising Viper!
I'm gone. Now. Magna Ray.
Going
Let's
in.
get you all tucked away.
Look
Magic
sharp.
Kazam. In here.
ST airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Rising Viper!
Healing circle.
Mirage! Dragon Form!
Make it
Goodwill!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Shut!
Well done. Now I'm ready. Here goes.
You're mine! Luna Rondo!
Now. Ridwell. Astral energy. Full throttle.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be in this world.
Don't.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
I won't forgive you. Confiscated. Here I go. How's this? Chinese supernova. All right, it's showtime. Here goes. Magna ray. Searing flame. Lightning orb. Dance in the wind. Air thrust. That's my cue.
Shut him down!
You're mine. How's this? I'm only getting started. Go.
Swallow Blade!
It's over. Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Eat dirt!
It's over. Through. Sighted. Going in.
Dragon
Now.
Form!
Ridwell. Astral energy. Full throttle. Pathetic.
You're mine!
Go.
Demon
Shield.
Fang!
I'm only getting started. Open. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Hello. I'm gonna kill you.
Behind me!
Sighted. How's in the wind.
Take this!
Air thrust.
Dragon
Sighted.
Form!
We're not in your dreams.
Sonic Thrust!
On guard! Here I go!
Make it work. Lost. Demons descend.
Flashing Fang!
Here I go. Go.
It's over!
Wind astral energy. Lightning condensed.
Blow away!
Go.
Shot!
You're mine. Sighted. And again. can become even stronger.
Stupid ambulances. Look. Hello.
I'll do my best. Take this.
Sighted.
This one's mine.
Here.
This one's mine.
They're surrounding us. Frozen wrench. Sealed. Magna Ray. In there with the others. Magic is in. Gemini Aqua. Tiger Blade. Lion Howl. Got you. Where are you going? Steel Force.
Prepare to be sealed.
Toxicity. Dance in the wind.
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Did you just heal me?
Yes. I need you, remember?
Right.
Here I go. Meteor.
Rising
Sweet
Wyvern.
dreams. Sighted. So those are Danon Astral Arts. Huh.
A comfortable win.
Out of my way.
Light there. Don't mind if I do.
That's mine. Tiger Blade. Lion's Howl.
Got you. I'm only getting started. Here I go. Here's another.
Rising
Gemini
Wyvern.
Aqua. One more.
Soaring Light Spear.
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
This'll.
I think that's for Dohalim. Yep. Here we go.
make us even more formidable.
Hooray! About halfway done here. There's 3 different... It's fucked up. There's 3 different exits.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here?
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Hello, goodbye!
Don't be such a pessimist.
You picked the wrong fight.
I'm only getting started. Here's the healing art. First aid. Hope this works.
Rising Wyvern.
Going in. It's over. Lightning condensed. You're mine. Kisara frozen.
Hammer.
Nicely done. Got you.
All
I'm
thanks
only
to
getting
you.
started. Let the marksman handle this.
Soaring Light Spear.
There. Got you.
I knocked him all the way back over there.
Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Huh.
Indeed. If you look,
Go no further. Here I go. Got you. Going in. Sleep now.
That's it.
There. Get on in there with
This
me.
one is mine.
Sleep now. Gemini Aqua. Got you. I'm only getting started. Raging Cascade.
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll see about that.
More
Make
for
it started. Lost.
Demons descend. Flashing Fang.
Lightning condemned. One more. Too much to handle. I'm only getting started.
Blow away.
Here goes.
Piercing Roar.
One more.
Hooray!
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that.
Huh. What's that? Raging Stormbeak. Okay. That's a lot of dudes.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
I don't want cake.
Don't mind if I do. Take one more.
I want cake.
Make it rain!
Alpin, astral energy!
Say no more. Shut.
Well done!
You're mine!
Look sharp! You're mine! Look
Here's
sharp!
lightning! Go!
You're mine! Right here! I got...
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I'm definitely gaining a lot of extra crap.
Hi, Hoodle!
Take this!
Seal! There! Let's get you all out the way!
Shut up, phone.
Burn!
I bet during recordings you probably wonder what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like my phone goes off every 5 minutes or so just because of YouTube or email notifications. So it just drives me nuts every once in a while.
We can't lay a finger on you.
I prefer it.
Just watch and see.
I need to be stronger.
I'll do my best! Can't get out of this!
And again!
Now you see what I can do!
Sighted! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Gemini Aqua! Take it!
Ignite!
Lightning over!
Demon
Lightning condemned!
On guard!
Thunderblade!
This one?
Rising Wyvern!
Healing circle!
Here goes!
Take it! Heal!
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
Sighted! How's this?
Prepare to be sealed!
Come on! I'll blow you to smithereens! Now! Alpha! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Not today!
Make it rain! Air thrust! With this, I can become even stronger.
Hooray! Snoring Mage Coat for Rinwell. Nice. There we go.
Found some
Sweet.
equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
It's for Rinwell, you perv. Okay, so that was one.
Out of our way! Here I go! Steel force! Here I go! And again! Going in! Dynamite over! Art expert coming through!
Armor won't save you!
More for the stockpile! Here I go! Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me. There! And again!
Soaring light spear!
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Nicely done, Shion.
Just left. Step it up! Now!
Good to know my training is paying off.
Trying to figure out which way to go. I'm gonna bet that the mountains up that way are gonna lead to Mahaksar. So if I go down here, do what's down here.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Go no further! Where are you going?
You wanna play? Then come at me!
Here I go!
Mine.
One more! Not on my watch!
Flaming me!
Take light astral energy!
Far
Whoa,
enough.
hey! One at a time! There! Thunder
Make it rain!
Alpin! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Now! Well done! One more! It's over! Take it! Have this! There!
Explosive ring!
There's more where that came from.
I'll do my best!
Not in your
mine.
dreams.
This one's mine!
I'm ready.
Like moths to the flame! Armor won't save you!
Photon dance in the wind.
Where are you going?
In here, sighted. Let's get you on. Here's a healing art. First aid.
Not today.
There.
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Got you. I'm only
Who
getting
said anything
started.
about letting off?
Here with the marksman handle this. Lightning condemns. Thunder ray. Sighted. How's this?
Finish it!
Alpin. Astral energy.
Say no more. That astral energy was incredible.
I gave it everything I had.
No
There,
choice.
Go. It's over.
Don't worry.
Here I go. Where are you going?
Take this.
Far enough!
Take it. How's this? Light after dance in the wind. Air thrust. Light after dance in the wind. Feel it. Get on fire. Magna ray. Lightning condemned. Thunder blade. Now for something special. Ready. Sighted. And again. Tiger blade. One more. Here, let me help.
Look sharp.
Lightning tiger blade!
Pathetic. Go. Got you. Toxicity. We're the
I
hero.
think the enemy's getting...
Got them where we want them.
Don't tip your hand, though.
Nicely done.
We should be closing in on the end of this area. One would think. Climb up the thing. Here we go.
Great. Now I'm hurt and dirty.
Wow, wow. Huh?
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Ugh.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Yes.
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renin, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Okay, my guess is that's where Mahawksar is. So I'm gonna go back up. And check out that, I'm gonna check up that hill. Might as well do it while there's no enemies about. So yeah, this is gonna be probably a slightly longer episode than I'm used to, but we're getting places. We're doing the thing. And that's important.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menencia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Okay, so I'm going to guess. Alright, I'm going to guess this is the way to Mahawk Sar now that I think about it. God damn. This is so confusing. I'm going to take it as a smart. I'm going to take this as a sign to just be smart and call it an episode, rethink it. I'll work my way back down the mountain, come back up here, and then try again. So I'll see you guys next time.